Hello, you beautiful people. So, I think we all saw Tribbie's drip marketing that happened just a few hours ago, and now you're probably somewhat interested in the info that we have right now on our kit and how she'll function overall, right? Luckily for you though, you've landed on the perfect video to get all this juicy kit-related info. Today, I'm mainly going to talk about all the info that we have on Tribbie's kit as of now, and along with this, we'll also take a look at some speculations about her playstyle, her best teammates, and her release date as well. Just as I do for every drip marketing, I want to ask you guys a question. How do you guys feel about her design? Personally, I think she's really adorable and her design is also very simple and clean. I also like the Hermes references quite a lot as they're pretty nice, and I think they give you a pretty clear indication that she is a messenger of some sorts. Next up, I know that a lot of you guys are planning to pull for Fugue and Firefly in the second half of 2.7, and if you want some good discount on your Stellar Jade packs, let me just introduce LD Shop to you. This site is honestly a great top-up center, and the top-up process is really easy as well because all you need to do is select your pack and enter your UID and server in this box right here. Yep, that's the entire top-up process. After waiting for a few minutes in the game, I easily received my jades and also saved a little bit of money. By the way, if you register in LD Shop from my link in the description or the pinned comment, you will get an extra 5% off on top of all the other discounts. Lastly, just a quick little info that if you spend more than $80 in a single month on LD Shop, you can get a VIP membership for yourself, and you're probably curious what this membership does, right? Well, it basically provides you with a free monthly pass, weekly discount coupons, and some monthly discount coupons as well. Anyways, with the sponsor being done, let me quickly mention the usual disclaimer that everything which I mentioned during this video is taken from different sources, and it might be changed at any point of time, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Alright, starting with the very basics. Tribbie is going to be a quantum type unit who follows the path of harmony, and yes, it's pretty obvious that she will play the role of a support on your team. Okay, so if I compile the info that we have right now on our kit, Tribbie might be our first support unit who will buff characters depending on their position in the team slot. Basically, if I have to explain it in simpler terms, I think you all know that the Lashaka planar set gives an attack buff to the ally who is on the first team slot, right? Well, Tribbie's buffs will also work somewhat like that, and she will give different buffs like resistance penetration or extra damage depending on the position of a particular ally on the team slots, but for now, don't take this speculation too seriously because we still don't have full details on how these different team slot buffs will work. Moving on, a lot of sources have stated that Tribbie is mainly going to be a dedicated support for AoE characters, and we can pretty easily speculate that she will have really nice buffs especially catered for the Air Edition units like the Herta, Jingyuan, Argenti, and Acheron. I have to say though, right now, Tribbie's buffs look absolutely insane, and I'm not exaggerating here. Just in her base kit, she has buffs related to providing an all-type resistance penetration and defense ignore to her allies, and I can pretty confidently say that these two buffs might be the best buffs in the entire game. All in all, this means that Tribbie will most likely turn out to be a really good universal support, because her buffs are really good and will benefit pretty much every DPS unit in the entire game, but she will be an especially catered support for AoE or Erudition characters. Now, going back a few months, we initially had some info which stated that Tribbie will be a support especially catered for HP scaling units, and honestly, this info was really believable at that time because we had some other rumors which stated that there will be a lot of HP scaling units in Enquiries. Personally, I don't think this info can be considered true anymore because so far, none of the reliable sources have confirmed this info, and most of the sources are focusing on the new info that she will be an AoE buffer, rather than being a support designed for HP scaling units. Also, from the info that we have on the upcoming characters, we currently do not know about any character who might turn out to be an HP scaling Erudition unit. So I think it's probably safe to say that Tribbie won't directly buff HP scaling characters. She still might turn out to be best in slot support for these HP scaling DPS units though, because as I stated before, her buffs are insanely good and really universal as well. Anyways, I think Tribbie might be a really good support for dual DPS team setups as well, assuming that multiple characters can get buffed at the same time depending on their position in the team slot. Tribbie might just have a lot of buffing effects for different team slots, and I would say this will heavily encourage us to play multiple DPS teams, which is really beneficial for characters like the Herta and other upcoming units like Maide, because both of them will most likely prefer a dual DPS setup due to how their kits function. Lastly, I'm going to speculate that Tribbie's kit might have an effect somewhat similar to the Herta's third trace, where she will make it so that the single target damage dealt by a particular ally will be counted as AoE damage. This would honestly help all the Erudition characters quite a lot and buff them massively in single target scenarios, which is like their main weakness, and I think this would be a really cool mechanic to see on a character. Alright, with that, I've discussed about all the info that we have on Tribbie's kit, and along with this, I also speculated a little bit about how she'll function overall. Do remember to comment down how you feel about the current info that we have on her kit, because as usual, I always like reading your different opinions on these things. Also, I'm guessing that if you somehow managed to watch until the end, you probably liked the video and you might want to consider subscribing as well. With that being said, I love y'all and I will see you in another one.